Hey guys, and welcome to Dollar Workout Club. My name is Lynn, and since I'm wearing green today, I'm going to be showing you the beginner or modified moves of all the exercises today. Natalie here in yellow is going to be showing you the intermediate level of the exercises, and Drew is wearing red today, which means he's showing you the advanced motions of all the exercises today. So the first thing we're going to do is show you the exercise moves along with those modifications so that you know who to follow throughout the workout. Then we'll get into a warm-up, really loosen up while Drew explains this workout for us, and we'll dive right in. The first move we're doing is high knees, and Natalie's going to help me by showing the green and yellow version. For green, you're going to simply put your hands out in front of you and lift those knees one at a time, just like you're marching, as high as you can. Okay, so it's low impact on your joints. Yellow and red will be doing the same motion. The only difference is they'll be going at different speeds, and they will be jumping back and forth, lifting those knees as high as possible. So the higher you go and the faster you go, the harder it is for that move. The next move we're doing is called knees to elbow, which is a great abdominal move. The green modified version is you're gonna just be reaching up to try to touch your knees. A little bit of a crunch as you come, trying to make sure that you don't hyperextend that neck, keeping it in a stiff position, reaching up to the knees. Yellow and red are doing the same position together on this, except the only difference is yellow will probably be going a little bit slower and resting their feet as they come down. As you can see, Natalie's resting her feet in between each rep, while Drew is actually going as fast as possible in a continual motion. You guys, this is really gonna engage that core, especially for the length we're doing it. The next move is mountain climbers. For a green level, you're going to be getting a chair or any type of taller surface. You're going to be placing your arms directly down in front of you, holding it in kind of like a plank position. Then you're going to have 1 foot forward and 1 foot back. You're going to step 1 foot in at a time. Back, back, forward, forward, back, back, forward, forward. The faster you go and the further you step out, the harder that move's going to be. Natalie's going to show the yellow version. You're going to also have a taller surface. You'll have 1 foot forward and back, and instead you'll be jumping your feet back and forth as you go. Red is showing the hardest version, which is you're going to be doing this, but on the ground. And again, he's bringing his knees up as high as it can go and really switching his feet at a fast pace. For the last motion we're going to be doing, it's going to be a V-sit oblique twist. So Natalie's going to show the green version. You're going to sit, you're going to have your knees bent, and then all you're going to do while you keep your feet on the ground is you're going to hinge back slowly until your core is engaged, and then you'll see that she's reaching from side to side with her hands and trying to touch the mat on each side, but she keeps her feet down for stability. Yellow and red are going to do this move a little bit harder by having their feet off the ground as they're hinged back in that V-sit. The only difference is red is going to be rotating with a weight, while yellow is rotating with her feet off the ground but with no weight. So those are the moves today, you guys. You're going to be able to follow along with us on the screen the entire time throughout the workout so that you can make sure you have proper form throughout. Natalie and I are going to get started with a warm-up. Make sure you do that with us, and while we're doing that, Drew will explain the workout for us today.
All right, we have a killer cardio and core workout today. What we're doing is 3 total rounds. So each round you're doing 1 minute of high knees, 20 seconds of rest. 1 minute of knees to elbow, 20 seconds of rest. 1 minute of mountain climbers, 20 seconds of rest, 1 minute of oblique twist, 20 seconds rest, and then we'll go back to the beginning and do that the second time. And we'll go through that the second time, and then go back to the beginning, do it for a third time, and then we'll be done. So for the total workout, should be 16 minutes total, including the rest and the exercises. And so that's it, you guys. But really, it's only 12 minutes of activity. The other 4 minutes is rest. So if you get lost, remember that the workout will be on the screen for you to follow along. And let's just go ahead and finish up with this warm-up, and we'll go ahead and get started.
Just have a few more trunk twists, just loosening up those core and that oblique. Yeah, you guys, this is gonna get you sweating. Yeah. All right. All right, so what we're gonna wanna do is make sure you have a water bottle near you, a sweat towel if you want it, and get in position because we're gonna be starting in just a few seconds. Starting in 5 seconds, you guys. 3, 2, 1, high knees. Now you guys, I want you to keep a good and steady pace here, okay? A lot of times when we're doing this move, if we've done it before in Tabatas, we do it for a short spurt, about 20 seconds. This we're going for a full minute, so your heart rate is really gonna be elevated by the time that we finish this move. Okay, I want you to think about keeping your chest high. I want you to think about lifting those knees as high as possible, you guys. Having your hands in front of you is really gonna help that, so you can try to hit your knees and keep moving. That's the most important part.
30 seconds in.
We're more than halfway through. Keep it up, you guys. You should be pretty tired by now, a little bit out of breath. If not, move up a level. Try going at a quicker pace.
Almost there, almost there.
Keep up that pace, you guys. We have just about 10 seconds left. I want you to keep that consistency and pace up because you're gonna get 20 seconds rest. Keep going, keep moving, keep working. 3, 2, 1, and rest. We have 20 seconds of rest. Try to calm that breathing down. You're gonna wanna get into position for knees to elbow. Following out whatever pace is best for you guys. A full minute. This is gonna be hurting our core. Get in position. We're starting in 3, 2, 1, and go.
Make sure that you remember to breathe as you do this exercise. A lot of clients I work with, when they do ab work, they don't breathe. And then you can get lightheaded and not have as good a form.
Yep, focus on that breath. You guys think about squeezing your core, engaging your core the entire time. Anytime I'm doing core ab work, I always try to think belly button to spine. Okay, really just squeezing in tight, thinking of bringing that belly button as far back towards the spine as you can as you squeeze throughout the movement. If you need to take a quick break during this minute, do, but then get right back into it. This is a really hard move. Your core should be burning no matter what level you're at right now. We have just about 10 seconds to go. Keep working. Make every second count. 5 more seconds. 2, 1, and rest.
Good job, you guys.
Woo.
All right. My neck a little bit tired.
Yep, that should be hard on your body. I feel a little swollen right here. All right, get into position for mountain climbers because we're starting in just about 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1, and go. You guys, this is a high intensity move. It's really gonna get that heart rate up. Should be hard to breathe as you go throughout doing this, especially as you get about halfway through. Remember, if you're doing this, the further you step or jump your feet back, the harder the move's gonna be. Also, the faster you go, the harder this move's gonna be. And during the entire movement, you're also squeezing that core and engaging that core, which is sore, so you should feel it there too.
About halfway.
Fast movements, you guys. Keep up that intensity. Just about 15 seconds left. We want to try to keep up that pace as much as you can. Don't quit on yourself. We have that 20-second break coming up. Okay, 5, 3, 2, 1, and rest. Whew. All right, we're finishing up our first of 3 rounds with our V-sit with the oblique twist. Remember on this, it's optional to lift your feet up. It makes the move harder, and you can add in that extra weight if you need to. Starting in 3, 2, 1, and go. I really want you to focus on bending back until you feel that midsection, your entire core engaged, and then really twisting as far as you can from side to side. It's okay if you can't go as fast as you see us doing here on the screen. Go as fast as you can. You may notice because of this move, because you have to really engage your core or else your back will start to hurt, that if your back feels a little sore, come up for a few seconds, just rest that back, and then squeeze your core as you lean back and continue on with the movement.
This is a lot harder than it looks, as I'm sure you're finding out along with us.
This is extremely hard, especially because our core is already fatigued. Rounds 2 and 3 are gonna be brutal. You can take a quick break whenever you need to, and then just jump right back into it. Ooh, it's burning.
5, 4,
2, 1, rest.
All right, 1 round down.
We just completed 1 of the 3 rounds we're doing. Awesome job. Get right back into position, you guys. We have just about 10 seconds before we start round 2, and we're going back into our high knees. Okay, 3, 2, 1, high knees. You may notice that you're going a little bit slower than you did in the first round, and that's okay if you need to. Your heart rate's obviously elevated compared to when we first started, but try to be as consistent as possible, maintaining a good pace throughout the entire minute. Dig deep, you guys.
Man, I'm getting sweaty. Who wears their hair down in a workout anyway?
I didn't even realize you did that. I will give you my ponytail.
No, mine broke earlier.
Oh,
That's why it's down.
All right, keep going, you guys. Putting those knees high as they can go, okay? Fast paced.
3/4 of the way through this one. 15 seconds left.
Challenge yourself. Keep going.
Almost there.
Almost there. 2, 1, and rest. You should wear my hair.
No!
Yeah, 'cause
Are you sure?
yeah, it's already in a braid.
All right, thank
And
you.
I have a headband.
See, we help each other out here.
Teammates help each other out, man. Nothing is worse than doing a mountain climber with your hair down. Don't do it at home. All right, knees to elbow, you guys. Starting in 2, 1, and go. Remember on this, the more you rest between each rep, it gets a little bit easier. So if you need to rest those feet or rest that head during each repetition, that's okay. We don't want you to strain your neck. What helps to avoid straining that neck is actually picking something, instead of looking down towards your feet, you can pick something near the top of the wall to stare at. It just helps to keep your neck in more of a neutral position, which helps to avoid neck pain. Okay, so keep that in mind. Squeezing that core, you guys, with each repetition.
You want to make sure that you're focusing on getting your shoulder blades off the ground. So if I just went like this, for example, it wouldn't be nearly as difficult of a move as if I lift my shoulders to bring my knees to my elbows if you're yellow or red.
We're almost there, you guys. We have 5 seconds left. Push through. 2, 1, and rest. My abs are sore.
Yeah,
So sore. All right. Rest for a quick second, but get up because we're going to be going right into our mountain climbers. Oh, taking some deep breaths in, you guys. Slowing down that heart rate for a second. 3, 2, 1. Mountain climbers. Remember on this, you guys, you still want to try to keep as fast as pace as you possibly can. This is where we're spiking our heart rate, sweating. And try to make those jumps explosive. Stepping back or jumping back as far as you can. Not small little movements, but wide, big movements. Nice job at home. Keep going. We're over halfway through, you guys. Keep that core in tight. It's important that you keep your core tight throughout this movement. Keep breathing. Keep that pace up, you guys. We have less than 10 seconds to go. 3, 2, 1. Nice job. Whew. Ooh, some deep breaths.
Lynn, you got that like sexy, messy braid look going on. Thanks for the ponytail holder.
You're welcome. All right, you guys, we're going to be going into our V-sit with oblique twist in 5 seconds. I know you're tired, but we're almost done with the second round. 2, 1, and go. Remember, as you lean back, you only need to lean back as far as you can to feel the engagement. It doesn't have to be so far. It could be a small little movement and then twisting as far as you can from side to side. Trying to reach those hands down to the mat on each side, you guys. Remember to breathe. Breathing throughout this core movement is really important, like Natalie talked about last round.
I noticed that if I try to hit both fingers or both hands on the ground, it's a lot harder exercise than if I'm just doing one hand at a time. So if you want to challenge yourself, really get that full extension.
If you need to sit up for a quick break because of your back, go ahead and do that. Really, the key to not having your back hurt is to engage your core the entire time, which is hard to do. But then lean back, squeezing that core, and twist from side to side. We have less than 10 seconds left. We're almost there, you guys. Almost done with round 2 of this. 3, 2, 1, and rest. That's a hard one. All right, taking that 20 seconds before we start our last and final round, you guys. We only have one more round of everything, which always helps.
Last round. Almost done.
Take some deep breaths before we start. We're starting in just 3 seconds. 2, 1, high knees. Remember, this is the last time you're doing high knees, you guys. I want you to give it everything you got. If you're going slower, that's okay. This is about pushing yourself, leaving it all on the table. So dig those knees up into your hands. Make sure you're really reaching up. Try to increase your speed or stay consistent throughout the entire 1 minute that we're going. You can do anything for a minute, right?
Sometimes, if you're starting to feel tired, for me at least, it helps to pump my arms instead of having my hands in front. I feel like it makes it easier to get my legs up higher.
Yep, use those hands for momentum, throwing your body weight up. Just keep going, you guys. We have just about 20 seconds left on the clock. Keep that core tight, knees high, knees high. And in the last 5 seconds, I'm gonna want you to try to pick up that pace. All out. We're gonna go. 5 seconds left. Fastest pace that you've got. Almost there. 2, 1, and rest. Whew. Catch your breath. You should be out of breath. If it's not hard for you to breathe, you aren't working as hard, okay? Go up a level if you need to on these last few reps that we're doing. Okay, we're starting in 5 seconds, going back to knees to elbow. 3, 2, 1, and work. Okay? Think of engaging that core. Remember, if you focus on something near the top of the ceiling, it should help avoid any neck pain. If you need to bring one hand behind to support your head and neck, that's okay too. Do whatever feels most comfortable. The important thing is to try to work continually throughout this 1 minute. We have just about 30 seconds left on the clock. Breathe, you guys. Engage that core. Think belly button to spine. Rest in between each rep if you need to, but try not to take too long of a break. We only have 15 seconds left that you have to do this move. This is our last and final round, you guys. You don't have to do these again. Keep going. 5 seconds. 2, 1, and break. Oh, my abs are so sore. Okay.
Abs. She said abs.
Oh, did it not sound like abs?
Sounded like you said booty.
I love it. Okay, you guys, mountain climbers. We're starting those in 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1, and go.
I think we've got one word out of Drew over there today, so goes to show the red workout is tough.
Keep pushing, keep pushing.
Yep. It's hard to breathe. A lot of times you'll see red and yellow. Your heart rate should really be up there. Same for green. It should be hard to have a conversation and breathe. But I want you to keep challenging yourself. Remember, big movements. Kicking or jumping those feet back as far back as they can go. Trying to keep a consistent pace throughout the whole thing. We have less than 30 seconds, you guys, and this is your last round. Okay, last round of mountain climbers, then we only have one move left. Keep working.
15 seconds, guys.
Keep that core tight, keep moving, keep that speed up. Don't quit on yourself. Okay, we only have 10 seconds left. It's at the end of each routine that we're getting the most benefit, you guys. 2, 1, and break.
Almost
All
done.
right, we
Almost
only
done.
have one move
Oblique twist.
left. Whew. Calming that breath down. Okay, you guys, 3 seconds, get into position. 2, 1, and go. Leaning back, engaging that core, and twisting from side to side. This is our last and final move. I know you're thinking hallelujah, okay? This is a hard workout. Focus on bringing your hands or that weight as far down to the side as you can, trying to actually touch both hands or the weight down to the mat. If you need a quick break, sit up, rest that back and that core, lean right back, engage the core, and keep going. We have less than 30 seconds, you guys. You can do anything for 30 seconds. Nice job. Keep going, keep going, keep going. If you feel like you've really reached failure and you can't go anymore, go down a level. You know, put your feet down and just keep moving. We're almost there. We have 10 seconds left. Push yourselves. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Goodness.
Good job, guys.
Oh man.
Tough workout.
Nice job. You guys catch your breath. Get a quick drink of water. I'm going to give you a few seconds to try to recover your breathing before we get into that cool down.
Slow clap.
Good job, guys.
Good job, Team Yellow. I'm proud of you guys.
Nice job.
Let us know in the comments below which exercise you liked the most out of those 4.
The rest. I
Or
like
the
rest.
least out of those.
The rest.
All right, you guys, we're
The
gonna
rest.
Yeah.
we're gonna slow things down. We're gonna bring that heart rate down, and we're gonna cool down and stretch our muscles. We're gonna start with the quad stretch. You can do a couple different things. I want you to reach back behind you and grab the top of your foot, pulling that foot towards your butt while keeping your legs in close together, as you see Natalie and Drew doing here. I'm actually gonna go ahead and just place my foot on the back of the chair. So if you're green, you're not able to reach back that far, put it on some type of step or the chair. You'll still be feeling that stretch all throughout your quad right here. Whew. Nice job. That was a hard workout, you guys. Your core should be screaming. Rotate, go to the next foot. Stretching is great to do throughout too, you guys. So if you want, go ahead and do these stretches throughout the recipe and motivation video after this. Stretching is going to help with soreness. If you want, stretch later on today. You may notice it hurts to laugh. Sorry, not sorry. All right, we're going to come down to the mat for our final stretch, which is our cobra. You're going to want to have your hands a little bit in front of your chest area. With pushing your palms into the mat, you're going to lift up, keeping your lower body on the mat, pressed firmly against the mat. You're just coming up and stretching. You should feel that all throughout your abs and core region. You may notice when you're first doing this that you can't come up as high. You might have to have a small bend in your elbow. That's okay. You want to try to get to the point where your elbows are locked out. And we're just going to hold this stretch for a few more seconds. Try to focus on still lowering that heart rate, breathing in through your nose and out through your mouth. Nice job, you
today,
guys.
everyone. Oh, that was a tough one.
As always, great job today. We love working out with you guys. Hopefully you love working out with us, and we'll see you guys tomorrow.
Bye.
What's up, everyone? Welcome to Dollar Workout Club, where we are answering your questions from Facebook tonight. Tonight we have an interesting question from Lonnie. I just want to make sure I pronounce that right. Lonnie asks, what are your thoughts on IIFYM? For those of you who don't know what IIFYM means, it means if it fits your macros. And basically, well, I'll let Natalie start off with this because she's the only one in the group that's actually done the program and has seen good results, and then I'll share my results from it, or my perspective or my thoughts from an outside perspective.
Sure. So yeah, for a while I was following a really, really strict
Well, first
program.
maybe define what it is.
Okay, so if
Yeah.
it fits your macros is basically a macros is a shorter version of the word macronutrient. Macronutrient is carb, protein, and fat. So when you're following if it fits your macros, basically you're given a certain number of grams of fat, a certain number of grams of protein, and a certain number of grams of carb that you are supposed to hit every single day. You don't worry about sugar, but you do worry about your fiber intake. So for me, I was aiming to get 25 grams at a minimum of fiber every single day.
Fiber is a carb, by the way.
Yeah, it doesn't, it just is part of your carbohydrates, but it helps to make sure that you're processing your food and it helps with your digestion.
It helps them with their hormones too, actually.
It does. And so, I will say, I'll quickly go over the pros and the cons. The pros are that it works. I mean, for me, it definitely worked. I lost weight on the program, and it is feeding your body a particular number of grams of carbs, a particular number of grams of fat, and a particular number of grams of protein. And so for me, from a weight loss standpoint, it worked. The biggest con, absolutely, in my opinion, is that you have to be so specific. You have to be within 5 grams, give or take, of any of carbs, fat, or protein. So really what that meant is that if I was gonna eat an avocado for breakfast, well, every bite I put in my mouth I had to weigh. And if I was gonna eat an avocado and I had like an extra, I licked my spoon, literally, I would go over my 5 grams. And so it was, in my opinion, it was really obsessive and almost bordered on disordered eating. And so ultimately, at the end of the day, I said this lifestyle isn't for me because I can't live my whole life eating, weighing, and measuring every single gram of food that I put in my mouth. Now, with that being said, I learned so much from following If It Fits Your Macros because now, for the most part, I can look at a food and I can pretty much gauge, hey, that food has probably around this many calories, this many grams of fat, and this many grams of protein because I did it for so long. Now, the group of people that I worked with, they really focused on filling most of your diet with nutrient-dense foods. So, a lot of times you see on social media and stuff, people who follow If It Fits Your Macros are promoting, oh look, I can eat Oreos and Pop-Tarts and all this junk food as long as I fit it into my macros for the day, right? As long as I have a certain number of carbs, it doesn't matter what kind of food I eat. And so I think that crowd kind of gives If It Fits Your Macros a bad name because, like, I know the crowd I ran with, they really weren't in that, believing that you had to eat junk food all day long. It was mostly what we would call clean foods or nutrient-dense foods, same thing, just a different name. Healthy foods, and then occasionally if you wanted to treat, it wasn't a big deal because you just worked it into your macros. So, there's pluses and minuses to it. For me, I didn't necessarily hate it. I just didn't think it was something that I could maintain long-term as a lifestyle.
Yeah,
Yeah.
mine's gonna be really short and sweet, and then I'll let you wrap it up.
Yeah.
Because I didn't do If It Fits Your Macros, I know all about it. I know the science behind it. I have clients that have done it, and my response is, ain't nobody got time for that. Okay, but seriously, I literally look at those people and think, because they have to weigh and measure and track every single thing, I want to know, do they have children, and how do they make that time?
Yeah.
But in all seriousness, if it works for you and if you want to try it, I think it's great to try so many different methods and techniques, and if it works for you, that's great. Something like that would definitely be too strict for me. I don't even really track my food in general. It's just too time consuming and difficult. I just focus on eating more nutrient dense food and finding a balance and eating the foods that maybe I crave and love that people might think aren't that healthy, like donuts, but also like eating a lot of vegetables and healthy foods and finding a really balanced lifestyle for me and my family.
Yeah, from a pro perspective, like Natalie said, I think you can get to the point where you don't have to weigh every single thing. I think that's just in the beginning. And so from a pro perspective, you can just analyze your food, right? You look at a food and you're like, oh, that's protein, fat, carbs, this is how many grams exactly, and you're doing algorithms in your head and you're like this genius, right? I think there is,
extreme, but yeah, I guess.
no, I'm just
I do
saying,
that all the time.
But for the most part, you can say, hey, this chicken breast has this many grams of protein, and this avocado has blah, blah, blah. You can go through that in your head eventually. But with just like any other diet program, I feel like it works for some people, and for some people, it doesn't work. For some people, it's too much work, it's too tedious, and then for other people, they take advantage of it, and they say, hey, as long as this Twinkie or this Coca-Cola fits my macros, then I'm good. That's my only problem with it, is that people justify, like, look, I have flexible dieting, I can eat whatever I want to as long as it fits my macros. Yeah, and you can maintain a certain physique that way, but you have no idea what eating, those types of processed carbohydrates does to your hormones, right? So when you eat Twinkies or you eat waffles or soda, yeah, those are all processed carbohydrates and they fit in your carbs, right? And you still have a six-pack, but you have no idea what that's doing to your leptin levels and your testosterone or estrogen levels. And so from that perspective, I think it's not the healthiest when people take advantage of it and do it that way, but not everybody does it that way, I'll say that. But a lot of people do, thinking, oh, well, you don't need to eat vegetables and meat and real food. But in my perspective, when it comes to health and longevity, nutrient density is one of the most important things. So there's pros and cons, but to each their own. And find out what works for you and make it a lifestyle. That's the biggest thing.
Yep.
Find what works for you and make it a lifestyle.
Yeah, so hopefully that answers your guys' questions. You guys, we love hearing your questions, your comments. We try to respond to each and every one of you. And hopefully you enjoyed this session and learned a little bit. And we will see you guys tomorrow.
Cheers.
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 Good night.
Hey you guys, thank you so much for being a part of Dollar Workout Club. We love having you guys as a member, and we love seeing the photos that you've been tagging us in. If you haven't tagged us in some photos yet, here are the hashtag below. So if you try the recipe of the day, or if you want to comment how your fitness workout went today, make sure to leave it in the comment section. You guys, we check those, okay? We check those every day. We love responding to you guys. We're having so much fun with you being a part of the club. Make sure to follow us on all the social media outlets, and we'll see you guys tomorrow.